It's back o'clock, everybody. Hello, 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 hello. Welcome to Sensei's Divining Talk. I'm Rusty.
Code is mentioned.
To my left,
Other left.
H.
Your other left.
Well, it's to the left on screen. To my caddy corner is Mason.
And Coda.
Coda.
Coda!
And,
Yeah!
Ian is missing, but we got something better. Luna, maybe.
Yeah,
back.
I think she's upstairs. She's just outside that door right there.
She'll go
But
back.
She'll go back.
So we got a camera on the zone Luna is likely to be on. Hey guys, we're back to Magic again. We're doing a Magic set on the Magic set review. This is the third episode of this we've done, and the first one we've done that's actually a Magic property.
Rusty, what show is this from?
It's not.
It's from the hit game Magic the Gathering Chandelar.
Oh, I love that video game. Magic the Gathering Duels? That's the one from the Dreamcast?
Duels of the Planeswalkers, yes, for the
Yeah.
Xbox. That's true.
Yeah,
I have the Chandra card from that.
Yeah, the promos are really nice. I like the Grave Titan, of course.
Every card is Universes Beyond.
I'd have to go find it. But I'm pretty sure I have it hanging around here somewhere. So we've all picked some cards we want to talk about, and we're going to start with Kate, who's got Brigid, Clacken's Heart, and Brigid Dune's Mind.
Yes.
Correct.
Yeah.
So here's the thing about Brigid. There is a cycle of 5 cards. We will talk about, 2 of them? 1 of them, 2 of them? I don't know. Where it's a card on the front, card on the back. And they want you to flip them over back and forth because both sides have an effect that you want to flip over on the back and forth. Brigid is not like that. Brigid, you should keep it on the back side. The front side, you get a guy when you flip it over, and that's fine. But the back side's just fucking Gaia's Cradle in the command zone, but slightly better.
Gaia's Cradle that can add white?
Yeah.
Or Vendo Awakening Haven if you're baby, even babier than I. Why would you ever flip it the fuck back over? No, never flip it over.
The fact that it makes 2 guys on the front side is nice for the Gaia's Cradle effect.
But don't you want a 1/1 instead of a Gaia's Cradle?
Rusty, it's white-green. Why would you... March?
We got 1/1s for days, brother.
Dude, March of the Multitudes.
We're just gonna put it in play on the front, and that's the last time we're gonna see it because the next time it's going to.
Name me any card that makes 1/1s.
Elspeth, Sun's Champion.
Oh
March of
damn!
the Multitudes.
Damn!
Elspeth, Knight Errant.
Damn!
Raise the alarm.
Damn!
Elspeth, Archangel.
Damn!
Yeah, Archangel Elspeth does make 1/1s. That's true.
Name me at least 30 more.
How long do you have?
I mean, you could go on and on and on. Yeah, in those colors, you're gonna have no problem. Just look at all of the Selesnya cards from Ravnica at large.
Look at the Celestia cards from this set because those Kithkin are going wide.
Yeah.
You know what those Kithkin in this set do?
Ridiculous.
You make a lot of fucking Kithkin.
And if it had not been on Kate's list, it would have been mine.
Yeah,
Great card.
The reason it's on my list is because I was first to the punch.
It's okay.
Of course it's okay. I'm fucking awesome. Anyway. Next card, Rusty. So Dawnhand Dissident, I think, is a good card. It's a good tempo card. Because, it's Surveil for Blight and Black. You can make a lot of cheap little 1/1s to throw the Blight on. No big deal. Not hard. Surveil for no mana every turn for 1 mana. That's not bad. Exiling cards from any graveyard for no mana. Also not bad. Getting to cast those cards for 1 black mana. Pretty fucking good. I mean, do you guys agree it's a good tempo card?
It's an excellent card if you want to be in a counters themed deck for sure. It's very powerful, and it's nice that even if you don't have a thing to follow it up on turn 2, it can put 1 counter on itself without killing itself to get a Surveil off and help you find a land drop and stuff.
Yeah, and this is a big payoff for all of the other blighting that you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
really, really. I mean, this has got good enough effects to be good in whatever format you put it in if you can build around it.
For sure.
This will
For
be
sure.
good in Constructed. This will be good in Commander. This will be good in probably Legacy. There's some -1/-1 counter decks kicking around in Legacy that this is.
To be fair, I would be surprised to see this in Legacy over a card like Deathrite Shaman. But there's definitely a home for it. I'm excited to see this card played with Emperor Bones. Those cards work very nicely together, where you can blight 2 to take the 2 counters off your own Emperor Bones, and then immediately adapt it to put the counters back on it, and then you're going back to the races.
And I mean, it's not even like a -1/-1. It's a +1/+1 counters card because this one doesn't give you any payoffs for like having counters on it. So if you can just remove those counters, you're fine.
Oh yeah, I mean it works with if you're doing like a fungus deck and you're doing the spore counters, you can take those counters off. It can take if you have like a planeswalker deck and you're playing it with Gideon or any other planeswalker that turns into a creature, you can take the loyalty counters off it while it's a creature.
You
and
can
still,
take
graveyard hate is never bad to have.
You can take the chapters off of Final Fantasy summons.
That's true. That's true.
You know what this would be really fucking good with? Umbra, Sphere Manifest. So, I mean, I didn't put it in here because I've just now thought about this, but like, basically, you put those counters on Umbris, it only gets -1 for exiling the card. So, yeah. You get to cast that card later? Not bad.
What is it called?
Umbris, Sphere Manifest. It's from
IS.
It's from Crimson Vow Commander.
Universe Within version of.
There we go. Okay, Umbris.
No, it was printed before Universes Beyond.
Yeah. I was thinking of whatever the thing that's the Demogorgon is in actual Magic. My bad.
That's Avernox the Mind Flayer.
That's it. Whatever.
And I like Umbris. It's really easy to fucking exile stuff, and this is just another good piece on top of it.
Oh yeah.
I mean, excellent card. You'll play it in almost any black deck and just get mileage out of it, but it obviously will shine anytime you're doing counter stuff. Great card.
Yeah, we love milling. We love stealing. Deft.
A little card advantage action.
Okay. So
Mirror Mind. I got a question for you. Did you pick this because it's the greatest face in the set?
Damn it, you caught me.
I still think it's Sapling Nursery, but it's a good tough competition.
I'll be real, this might be my favorite card from the set because I just love making tokens. But you know what this card really needs is a card to attach it to. And that card would be a card that when it enters, it makes tokens. And ideally, the thing that makes tokens would make more tokens. Who loves it?
Thinking of putting it on oh gosh, I just forgot the name. The guy from Zendikar that makes tokens. He's like a 7-mana avatar. Oh my gosh. So embarrassing. I knew the card until I wanted to talk about it.
Phylath the World Shaper?
No, older than that. Although that guy's pretty good too, but he's based off of this guy. Avenger of Zendikar?
Oh.
Yeah.
Avenger of Zendikar, yes, that's it. That's him. Love Avenger.
That would also be a good one.
I mean, anything you gotta do,
But if you're building a Heir Apparent deck, that's like the one card that should be in your Heir Apparent deck that's not Heir Apparent.
Yeah, I mean, it's a great card.
I don't know
the thing you got to remember about this is it's not copying the creature that it's attached to.
It is attached. It is.
As long as it's attached to a creature, when you make a token, you make another one.
That are copies of the equipped creature.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, you want to put
so
it on an Avenger Zendikar, you make a token, you make an Avenger Zendikar tokens.
So if you have two Heir Apparents,
you're making Heir Apparent tokens.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you have 2 Heir Apparents and you get a third one, then you're making 3 Heir Apparents, which now you have 6. So you now have, and those all 3 enter as 6. So you make what, 18?
Yeah.
My math is right?
Yeah, and then it just gets more and more outrageous from there.
I don't know what the math is.
You have something like a coat of arms that just makes your army ginormous.
And you know what happens if you kill the thing that it's equipped to? You slap it on one of the copies.
That's true.
This is also an auto include in Brutaclad.
Yeah. It's
Mm.
great with Brutaclad.
Right.
Brutaclad is my favorite tokens deck.
Ooh, yes, Brutaclad.
Make everything a copy of your one thing, and then just make another. Like you can use this to make a copy of something that it's hard to get a token of, and then blast it out. Okay.
There's plenty of excellent guys to choose that. Any green deck that has stuff like Doubling Season or even Second Harvest to make copies of your copies is also very nice too.
Anyway, and my last card is not an unusual card because like we've all seen stuff like Soul Immolation before, but I think it's funny the way it works. It does not deal damage based on the thing that you put the counters on. It is only dealing damage based on the biggest thing you have. So if you have, say, a 0/30 that they just printed, and a 1/1 goblin, guess what's getting sacrificed? And guess who's doing 30 damage for 5 mana?
Yeah, you don't even have to sacrifice it.
No,
you'd have to blight. Yeah, you're right. You'd have to blight it.
Yeah, I mean,
you have to blight 30, but you put all of those counters on one thing, and if you put all, oh no, you have a minus 29/29, and you still have the big chunky wall.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you're getting rid of one little guy in exchange for blowing up the board. It can go much bigger than Blasphemous Act, which is occasionally necessary. I fear the board that Blasphemous Act doesn't clear, but they do exist.
It's better than Blasphemous Act because it doesn't hit you at all.
Yep, it's one-sided.
I mean, in the case of Bossing Say it wouldn't anyway, but because your guys are indestructible. But yes, I agree.
Yeah, that's my list.
Yeah, I mean, it's a great card. It's hard not to like Soul Immolation. It'll go in most red decks.
I think it's funny.
All right. Next up, we got Mason's list.
I am the middleman. Okay, so first I wanted to talk about a pair of cards, Kinsbale Aspirant and Sig's Command. And it's not so much about the cards themselves, although they are fine cards. But these both are an artist by the name of Margaret Organ Keen's first work for Magic since before I was born. Her last art for Magic the Gathering was Tranquility in Tempest, which released in October 1997, which means the art was finished probably a year before that in 1996, because they make sets at least a year in advance. Like they're finished and going to production at least a year in advance. So it's really cool. They've done a great job of bringing back a lot of classic artists. I mean, she's done a lot of iconic cards like Zebra Unicorn and, of course, Lion's Eye Diamond, among others on my list. These are some Zebra Unicorn is one of my favorite artworks for classic Magic. I think it's such a pretty card. Really evocative, and it's cool to see a lot of classic artists that I really enjoyed from old sets come back and do art again, and to see the evolution of their styles, because it's clear even 30 plus years of her career that so much of her style is still intact, but the evolution is really cool to see. I mean, you look at cards from like Richard Kane Ferguson or other people who have done art since the very first sets of Magic, and it's cool to see how things evolve and how they stay the same. So obviously Sig's Command will be a great card if you're playing any kind of Merfolk deck. It's an excellent card, hard to go wrong. Kind of wish it was an instant, but it makes sense that it isn't at 3 mana. It would be pretty obscene. But it's kind of weird that this command cycle is like split between instant and sorceries.
Rusty, is this art also older than you are?
October 1996? What do you think?
Sadly, I was born in the 80s.
Wow, old. Get him.
Old. Ancient, decrepit, bones.
Get him.
I am actually older than Magic the Gathering by very slightly.
Yeah, the original Lorwyn is older than me. No, it's not. 2007. I was 5.
Lorwyn came out in 2006. 2007, something like that. Anyway, my next card up is Lava Leaper. I quite like this card. It's a funny little guy. Both arts are just excellent. But this kind of effect is one of my favorite things. I really enjoy symmetrical mana doubling that incentivizes people to build their decks in specific ways. one of my biggest complaints about the way people build decks nowadays, I used to have a friend who was really bad about this, is people just don't play basic lands. It's so ridiculous. You'll see somebody, who has like a two-color deck, and they're playing like 10 basics for no reason. They just have a bunch of like Reliquary Towers and Temple of the False Gods and like random common utility lands that they never crack, and they're just like worse than a basic. And I like basics. I think basics are fun. People just neglect them, but they're one of the like foundational parts of Magic. And I think rewarding people for playing basics is really nice. I have a Maelstrom Wanderer deck that's all about like, I'm playing like Blood Moon and From the Ashes and stuff. Because I had a friend who was really bad about not playing basics back in the day. He would play like 3 basics in his 2-color decks, and one of them was a waste, just for like no reason. He wasn't even playing Tainted Pact. He was just doing it for fun. And so I started playing like, blow up all lands and search for that many basics, and then he would just like have one of his basics in play at the time, and then he would get 2 lands, and everybody else would be happy, and he would be sad. So I'm really a big fan of basic landing and like sharing the love, but like almost nobody gets as much out of it as me. It's like a symmetrical effect that I always get more benefit out of because I'm an old man and I like my basic lands. Eat your Wheaties, kids. Play your basics.
Yeah, the thing about basics is they are almost always faster than your dual land. So if you've got any kind of aggro going on at all, if you're trying to power things out faster, if you've got really any kind of aggro or any kind of ramp where you're trying to ramp up to something big or hit the ground running, you almost certainly want to be playing more basics than you do dual lands, just because dual lands are so slow.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I'm a big fan of Skylands. Part of it is like my nostalgia for Theros, but I'm a big Skyland believer. I play them in a lot of decks, but like you're probably not playing enough basics in whatever deck you're playing. I'm probably not playing enough basics in most of my decks, but I really like Lava Leaper for like pushing you to play more basics. And also the haste enabling is nice too. I love a good like chaosy type thing. Like, this will push the game to get done faster one way or another, even if it's not me. The worst thing ever is a commander game that just like sits there for 2 hours and nothing happens because like nobody can do anything. And this card will incentivize people to make moves to break parity and go crazy. So I like that too.
It's almost like a Ascent of Avernus. Ascent from Avernus.
Yeah, that card's fun too. I play it in a lot of decks.
Descent or Ascent?
Descent. The red one.
Descent into Avernus.
Yeah, Descent into Avernus is a great way to get the game ended. Get the game done.
Game happens whenever you play this card, or it gets blown up immediately if somebody's.
And there are like it's another one of those like you said, quote unquote symmetrical decks. But if you're like building around this at all, it's almost an auto include in Sulfim where non-combat damage is doubled.
Yeah. I play it in Gornog, the Red Reaper, the red like Warriors Minotaur.
Yeah, or just like Torbrand.
I'm just trying to get sideways as fast as possible and kill everybody, and this is the kind of thing that I really like. And one way or another, this is going to make people make moves, which is what I like about cards like this and Lava Leaper. It's very fun. Next, I want to talk about a little guy. He's a classic Doran, but no longer is he exclusive to guys with big butts. Doran was one of the original legendary creatures from the first Lorwyn block, and he's like a 3-mana 0/5 that makes creatures deal combat damage with their toughness. He's the first instance of that effect because a lot of the trees have big butts.
They cannot lie.
And they cannot lie about it. That's true. They do not be telling falsehoods. His newer incarnation, however, he still wants you to play guys with big butts. He discounts guys with toughness greater than their power. But interestingly, his second effect just says whenever a creature you control attacks or blocks, it gets +X until end of turn, where X is the difference between its power and toughness. And there are a lot of cards that are good that have power much higher than their toughness. The one that I've seen a lot of people talk about that I didn't have Rusty add to the sheet because I forgot about it is Jumbo Cactuar from Final Fantasy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He attacks as a 10,000-7, I think.
Yeah. What do you do? 20,000?
Yeah,
I know.
he gets plus 9,993 plus 9,993 with Doran in play, which is a lot. Basically, it means that he's not dying in combat, and it makes if you have like a fling or something, it's even more ridiculous. But I was talking about Fido Titan.
Or a soul immolation.
Yeah, there's a couple of cards like it. There's a lot of effects like this that are like big power, small toughness in green red, so they don't work with Doran as the commander, which is what I'm focusing my chat about. But there's like the card that was the buy box promo for Ikoria. It was Godzilla, King of the Monsters, which is Zelortha Strength Incarnate. It's like a red green guy that makes creatures take damage with their power instead of their toughness. If you had some kind of 4-color like Saskia or something deck going on, you could play these guys together and they would be really good. But I was talking about cards like Fido Titan, which are like 7/2s. They get +5/+5. And then there was also Groundbreaker, which is the green color shifted version of Ball Lightning.
Where'd you go? There we go. Yeah.
Love the color shift frame as an aside, but there's lots of effects if you're going to play with Doran. Lots of creatures that are not just Indomitable Ancients, your 2/10s of the world or whatever. But there's plenty of guys that are big on the front and small on the back. They're not dragging a wagon, but they can still get the job done. If you catch my drift.
Force of savagery if you can keep it alive.
Yeah, exactly. So there's a lot of cool effects with Doran. I think it's interesting that it has so much utility outside of just the classic cards that you would play with the old Doran. Like it's not you can just slot him in instead of the old one, and your deck, gets better for sure.
I mean,
But
he's pretty good in the old Doran decks too.
Yeah.
Because
you can play him in the old Doran, or you can move the old Doran to the 99 and put him in the command zone. But this deck has utility outside of that I think is nice.
Gives you
because of the way the old and new Doran interact, they don't cancel each other out.
Correct.
New Doran buffs old Doran.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you're playing a 0/5, you double its power. You double its toughness. You double it. It gets +5, and then it doubles its toughness.
Yeah, I mean they definitely work together.
So
I just think it's nice that it's not a strict upgrade.
Swings as a 20 if you've got Besieged by Time in.
I think it swings as a 10. No.
Yeah, it swings as a 10.
It gets +X/+X for X is the difference between its power and its toughness, which is 5. So it gets +5/+5. It's a 5/10 if it attacks.
Oh, right. You're right. It's a 10. You're right.
If you had something to double that, then yes. But I think it's cool that this is like a really cool design to me, where instead of just going back and making a strictly better Doran, they made a card that you would slot in with it, but it also can build entirely different decks outside of just being better than the original card. They don't make designs like that often these days. A lot of cards are just like upgrades to old ones, so I think this one is pretty elegant. I like it a lot.
I don't know how it would work, but I think this one also positively interacts with negative power. I don't know why you would ever want to do that, because not a lot of things give minus power outside of blue.
I mean, there's like Howl from Beyond, which is a black card that just gives a thing -X/-0. I think it's an enchantment.
It's not super. It's like a pretty niche effect. You really have to build around it, but that's another angle you can go.
You can. That's what's nice about a card. You certainly can.
You can always do anything in Commander.
Yeah, and this card gives you a lot of options, which I like. My last card I wanted to talk about was Marilyn Fae Ascendant. She's one of the marquee cards of the set, being that she has taken over Una's position as Queen of the Fae. And this card is, first of all, much less obnoxious than the original Marilyn of the Mornsong. I hate the old card. But this is no, I don't like making everybody's draw step a tutor. It's so boring, and even if the game ends immediately, it just makes it take so long. But this card is a new take on Fairy Kindred, and very nicely, they've made her green instead of just blue-black. There are some green fairies in this set, but in the original Homelands block, way back before Cage was even a thought, before I was a thought even, there were green fairies, and they just never made any more of these for like ever. There was like a couple of blue-green ones in some of the Dominaria sets, but mostly they're limited to this. And I think these cards have gotten pretty expensive. It's cool to see them go back and actually just let these guys slide into the Fairy Kindred pile now. Fairy Noble makes fairies have a bigger toughness, which is nice for helping them avoid stuff like mass pings. And then obviously tapping to give your guys +1/+0 is very nice. There's also Willow Priestess. There's a couple of other fairies, but these are the two like kindred effects. Willow Priestess, obviously a sweet card. You just tap, put a fairy into play. You can put
Mhm.
Una in for cheaper. Lets you skimp on
Oh, yeah.
mana. There's plenty of stuff that you can just slide in with this. It's cool that they helped some of the old cards fit into like the established. Because before, if you wanted to play like a fairy deck that was all three of these colors, you had to play something that wasn't a fairy as the general. So Maryland, it's cool. It's not like a super unique design. It's basically just a fairy that does fairy stuff. But
I think it's interesting that it's also an elf typal deck, and correct me if I'm wrong, it's one of the only elf typals that really works with every iteration of elves. Because I mean, there's Warhammer, there's not Warhammer. There's Lord of the Rings elves that are blue, and Kaldheim elves that are black. And
yeah,
I
it
don't
does
think there's
also
any.
combine the archetypes pretty well. That is correct. I guess you could have played elves with like Yarok, and it wouldn't be that bad because doubling your ETB triggers is nice. But yeah, it is nice that it's both an elf and a fairy card. Although I mostly was focused on fairies. It's just a very very flexible card, which I like. And I think including giving old cards new life instead of just phasing them out is really nice. And then the last card I wanted to talk about is mostly for the art, although I am putting this in at least one of my decks. Give me Sapling Nursery, man. Look at this. Look at this absolute beast. He's unbothered. He's moisturized. He's flourishing in his own lane. He's just an awesome guy. This is finding a place in my Titania deck. I'm cutting a better card for it, to be honest. I think it's worse than all the cards in my deck, but I can't not play this card. Affinity for Forest is cool. I think it's nice that they're exploring affinity outside of like an artifact, um, outside of an artifact theme. Because I don't know that there's been too many cards with affinity that aren't artifacts or at least artifact themed.
I think there's a couple with affinity for like creature types.
Yeah, but it's pretty few and far between. Affinity is pretty powerful, but this card is really strong if you have it in the right deck. But I think that this is a good way to push the design boundaries of affinity without breaking it. This card is sweet, and again, it incentivizes you to play basics or dual lands, I guess, but mostly basics. You'd want to play this in a pretty heavily green deck. And I just think it's sweet. I like it a lot. And the art is awesome. The regular art is also awesome, but this is my favorite. My favorite card in the set. I'm going to be playing at least one deck, probably more. I just really like this card. It's fun. He's
We were
fun.
we were discussing this card before the show, and I've come down to the side of this art is really good, except for that god awful face. I hate that face so much.
Yeah, well, he's amused by your opinions.
I get it, man. I still hate him.
I
He's not
think that if you think that this card is not powerful, you are heavily what am I trying to say? Landfall is one of the strongest abilities in Magic.
Yeah, I mean, traditionally we've had like 5 mana enchantments with landfall make a 2/2, and this is maybe a 2 mana enchantment with landfall make a 3/4.
Getting a 3/3/4 for dropping a forest is bonkers.
This could be a turn 3 card, no? One and two is play a forest. 1 and 2 is play a forest. Turn 3 is 3 visits. That's 3, 4. Yeah, that's a turn 4 card.
Yeah, I mean, if you're working in like Soul Ring or something, maybe it can be on turn 3, but usually, you'd have to play it on turn 4. It's a sweet card though.
For turn 4, it's still pretty good.
Imagine running this in a mono green Crucible of Worlds style deck.
I'm actually cutting Crucible of Worlds, I think, for this because there's just so many better Crucibles now. I mean, you have like Ice Steel Explorer and stuff, but that's not really. We're not deck checking my deck, but it's.
Right.
I mean, like you can play lands out your graveyard.
Pulling back, sacrifice, pulling back.
Oh yeah, we're going there.
You get like 3 or 4 3/4s. or even
For
6 or
3
7 of them. My
You two are
handle of my
so
chair
old.
is ripping off.
Both of you are so old.
Yeah, with the times, youngin.
So old, Mason.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
heard.
this is very strong.
Yeah, it's a great card, and I'm excited to play with it.
Underestimating
that's
is
all I
the
had to
word I
talk
was
about.
trying to say earlier.
It's also just a big, expensive enchantment, which always has value.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
it's fun.
All right.
Let's get to Rusty's cards. I want to talk about these two.
All right. So, Sunderflock is, I think, the card that I am personally most excited for in this set, because I have 5 Omnaths. I have 5 Omnath decks.
I've played one of the
I have all
Omnath
5 of
decks.
them. And each
This is legal in 3 of them.
it's legal in more than half of them. And most of them are elemental kindred decks. And so there's a bunch of kindred technology that's come out that I'm really excited for. But this is a 2-mana cyclone.
Well, it only gets
2-mana
creatures.
cyclonic rift.
It is very good.
In all but the black one, in the 2 that are not the Phyrexianized one, this is a cyclonic rift.
Is Omnath Phyrexianized? Is he not an elemental? Is he just a Phyrexian?
No, he's an elemental.
No, he is an elemental, but I'm doing something different with that. It's not really kindred deck as much. There are a lot of elementals in it, but that's not what it's doing.
Yeah, I mean, this card is great. I'm always very excited to put Inundate in my commander decks, which is like a 6-mana from the original Lorwyn, actually. It bounces all non-blue creatures, and it functions very similarly, like a one-sided, like etherized type thing, where it never gets any of my things. And I really like effects like this that it's a thing that blue does very well, where it it benefits you for sticking to a theme. This card is great. It's really good.
I'm in love with it. I think it's great. Also, it's a duck eagle mermaid thing.
Oh, it's a freaky little creature for sure.
Yeah, Luna! Woo!
Hey, it's Luna!
That's my dog.
We did
She's
it.
a good girl.
She's here.
We got Luna on the Luna camp. Okay, next up.
Toad, yeah!
I love the old Evoke cards. And I'm so glad we got some new ones. I particularly like the way they do these now. They're kind of combining it with another old Lorwyn mechanic where if you cast it with certain colors, you get additional effects. But the way Evoke works is you can cast it for its Evoke cost and immediately sacrifice it.
Yeah, it enters and then dies.
So you get the
you get its
ETB
ETB
effect.
abilities, or its leave the battlefield abilities if it has them.
Its ETB ability is dying.
Yeah. So these are basically 3 spells in one. You can cast it for white, and for this one in particular, you cast it for white, and you return something CMC 3 or less, or sorry, mana value 3 or less, which is the same thing. They've just changed the wording.
Yeah.
Or you spend it for black, and you get to put 3 -1/-1 counters on something, which is probably killing it if you're choosing that mode. You can also get both of them, and it comes with a 3/5 body. I think cards that have multiple spells on them are very, very good. Like, even if you're putting this, like, say you're putting this in a reanimator deck where you're almost always going to cast it for white, grab something from the graveyard. There is still a possibility that you might want to do the black instead.
Flexibility is
It just gives you the option. just
Correct
did
me
the
if I'm wrong, but this is part of a cycle of what enemy colors?
They're all
I don't know. Ally and enemy colors are kind of an
allied
outdated
colors,
concept.
I think.
They're kind of an outdated concept at the time I started playing. But it's like
I
what?
think that these are they're allied colored because it's the enemy colored shocks in this set, and the allied colored because they're the opposite of the shocks.
I
These are
thought these were
allied colored.
enemyless shocks, and then
Well, there's not a blue red one, and Steam Mints is in this set. Steam Mints is an enemy colored. They might not be matched up though. It might just be
So
it might be
yeah, so-
mixed because they don't really care about allied or enemy colors too much.
I haven't checked. It might even just be. Well, it's not 10 of them because there's not an is it one.
There's
Yeah.
only 5.
this one is enemy. I got my handy dandy reference sheet. Literally
Yeah,
back of the
then
card.
it's like a split cycle because I know red white is allied color. I think is red white allied?
red. No, it's enemy.
Green red is allied though, correct?
Yes, green red is ally.
Yeah,
White green is ally.
There's
So
red white.
the way you tell, we're talking about this so much. The way you tell if it's allied or enemy colors is you look at your back of your magic card. So you look at white. Its ally colors are blue and green, the ones that are next to it, and its enemy colors are red and black. And you can do that all the way around the circle.
Yeah, so there's a blue green and a red white, and this one that's black white, and then a green red, and what's the 5th one? Blue black. So there's like 3 enemy and 2 ally, but they're in the color pairs that the shock lands from Edge of Eternities are in. So those 5 shocks are not in this set, and then this set has the other 5 shocks. So they've mixed the ally and enemy color pairs. I guess that set had those color pairs or color pairs based on the shocks in this set or something.
Yeah, so I know Jubilance is red and green. Nah. So I guess it's not ally or enemy. It's weird.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Tangent aside, this card is great. I like these a lot, and it's clear that they were very careful in designing these. There was a cycle of Evoke Elementals that was printed in 2022 that was rather problematic on Constructed and Modern Horizons 2, and it's clear that they thought of those and the people's reaction to them when they designed these. Because if you cheat them into play with with an Ephemerate or something, or an Undying Evil, you don't get anything after you evoke them. You just get the body. And the body is good for the cost, paying 3 mana for a 3/5. I guess this is the worst one to do because the other ones all have better power and toughness equal for their evoke cost if you put them into play for 3 mana.
yeah, I picked this one for its ETB effects rather than its.
Yeah, they're pretty bad specifically with Ephemerate or Undying Evil to cheat them into play compared to every other evoke card ever. But
Yeah.
I like them quite a bit more because of that. And it's cool the design that you could only ever get one effect if you evoke it, but you can get both if you hardcast it, and you get neither if you cheat it into play. I think that's pretty cool gameplay design, and I like all of them a lot. None of them are too powerful. They're all going to be great cards to have, and you would want them pretty much always if you're playing a deck in those colors. But they'd be like a last 10 cards type of situation.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
the
I think
last
it's a
one
cool place for them to
is
be.
white black, blue black, red green, white red.
Mm-hmm.
And
Catharsis is also a very cool design. I think that thing is freaky. The snail man.
Yeah, they all of the incarnations are a little bit less freaky than the weird elemental hybrid creatures, but a little bit more horrifying.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, very eldritch.
Yeah.
Except for Vibrance.
next up.
Vibrance is the little dog.
He's a little guy.
I don't really play Boros, but every once in a while there's a Boros commander that comes out, and it makes me want to play Boros a lot. The first time it happened was with Feather.
Fuck that Feather deck, man.
Well, actually, the first time it happened was with Brian Stoutarm. Let's be real.
Yo!
Yeah. So I
Brian
actually
Stoutarm.
don't have Brian Stoutarm up here, but we will talk about Brian in depth next week. He's on the list for the Lorwyn retrospective that we're going to do next week. But he lets you just throw a creature, sacrifice a creature.
His effect is fling.
He's just a flinger. Bree of Clan Stoutarm does similar but different. instead of sacrificing the creature. It's a little bit better. It's a little bit more expensive, but it gives it flying and lifelink instead of sacrificing it. So it's situationally better. It doesn't just deal direct damage. But it's
your guy lives.
What?
But your guy lives.
But your guy lives, yes. And gains you life.
And then this card also just draws you cards or casts spells for free, which is nice.
Yeah, it's also just got a handy secondary effect. This is if you've already got a Brian Stoutarn deck, this probably just takes its place.
You would definitely at least play it in your deck.
Yeah. It's very good. I am probably going to build this.
Oh, the flavor difference of Brian Stoutarn being a raging alcoholic who just picks up random cows and flings them at castle walls and makes them go splat and doesn't really care. And then Bree being like a shepherd who just like gently tosses your guys and they make it to the other side safely with flying. It's excellent. I really like this card. I don't know how I'm gonna build with it, but I think the flavor difference comparing this to Brian is hilarious.
Dude, build a lifelink deck. That's what you're supposed to build with it.
You don't gotta tell me about no Baneslayer Angel. I already know.
Firesong and Sunspeaker? Is that the right one?
Yo, yeah. Kantayama Iclamasol? They're around here somewhere.
There she goes again.
There's a whole bunch of corner case Boros cards that are also going to go into this. Like you say, Firearm and Sunspeaker. A lot of the Boros giants from the Commander deck back in the day, the Angels and Giants Commander deck, a lot of that stuff's just going to slot right into here.
Farron witnessed. She's making the dog more visible.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, great card. Definitely a fan.
Heartflame Duelist, that one was a little kind of flew under the radar in Wilds of Eldraine. It just wasn't that great at the time. But it's pretty good now in this.
Oh, yeah, a little lightning bolt action. Never hurt nobody.
Yeah, and lifelink. It's not bad.
Giving my lightning helix, I gain 6 life.
All right. Next up, we got Ashling's Command. I like this for similar reasons. It's going to make a token that's a copy of an elemental. I also really like all of these kindred spells because they say the word target player instead of target opponent or you. Again, options. Especially in Commander, I love the politics of the game. Letting somebody draw 2 cards or take 2 treasure tokens in exchange for some kind of favor on the board is quite often a more powerful effect than any card you can have in your hand.
This would be really good for the super incredibly niche format Emperor.
This would also be very good in the super niche format Emperor. Emperor is also a lot of fun.
It's great.
Mason, you ever play Emperor?
I have.
It's a lot of fun.
I played one game at communal job that Rusty and I both had for a little bit, but I won't dox myself for.
Yep. And then we got Ashling Rekindled.
Speaking of elementals,
there's a theme here. I like all of the kindreds in Lorwyn, but I do have a favorite. Mostly because this is the only place where you get elemental kindred stuff. You get elementals in other places, but they don't really care about other elementals.
Omnath Locus of the Royal is an elemental kindred card.
Yeah, and it's kind of an exception to the rule I just said.
Well, there's also the 3-mana blue-green guy that draws you cards every time you play an elemental. That card's obnoxious. It's probably in 3 of your decks.
Yeah, you're right. Okay.
Which Chandra is it that's an elemental kindred command planeswalker?
Yeah, that one's in there also.
Yeah, okay, so it's half of them. I'll give you half, but there's plenty of other stuff. You can have half.
Anywhere you go to get elves, there's going to be elf synergy.
Well, we don't got to talk about the Golden Boys.
They're not golden.
Elemental kindred synergy is a little bit more rare in other sets than it is here.
It's definitely not as commonplace as other types, for sure.
So This is another one. You can pay a mana to transform it. You can filter your cards with its red side. And then this ramps you. It's just a good, cheap little guy that's doing what you want it to do in an elemental deck.
And unlike Brigade, you should be flipping this one back and forth as often as possible.
You should be going back and forth all the time. Yeah.
I will say though, I kind of like the change from Shadowmoor Ashling going from on fire but spooky to on fire but frosty. I think that's a much more aesthetically cooler change.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think a Rhinebound is cooler than Extinguisher.
I would agree. Yeah,
So,
this is a cool card for sure. I mean, and so, again, another one of my complaints about Commander deck building recently, as of late, is mana curves have gotten shallower, and people are playing a lot more cards that are not expensive. So this being a card that incentivizes you to play cards that cost like 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, I really like, because I like playing cards that are more expensive and splashier over just like my whole deck being 3s, 4s, and 5s that are efficient and good, and just like eventually winning with a combo or something. I would rather just kill you with giant monsters.
yeah.
Incentivizing you to cast 6 and 7 drops and 8 drops and 9 drops is really cool. I keep doing it accidentally. I'm sorry.
Doing what?
Nothing. Forget I said anything.
Okay. Commander is about the 6/7. Gotcha.
Old.
Commander is about the show, the spectacle,
Creativity. It's an art form.
and it's been kind of moving. I kind of agree. It's been moving away from the spectacle into getting like hyper efficient.
Not on my watch.
These kinds of cards really help fight against that.
I will say.
In addition, we got some cool new tools. Thirst for Identity is part of a mega cycle that's been going on for a while. A blue card that costs 3 mana and draws you 3 cards with a downside. We got Thirst for Discovery that costs you a basic land card. Thirst for Identity that costs you a creature card. This is the new one. Thirst for Knowledge, which costs you an artifact card, and Thirst for Meaning, which costs you an enchantment card. And the cost is always discarding from your hand.
Do you think they're going to print a discard a Planeswalker card? Because on one hand, they're so powerful. On the other hand, I don't know. I think discarding a Planeswalker card would be too much for most people to pay.
I mean, they've moved away from putting a bunch of Planeswalkers in every set. We're at like 1 or occasionally 2. So it would have to be in a set like War of the Spark that was like gimmicked around having a ton of Planeswalkers, I think, for them to do something like that.
Which they will probably do at some point again.
Yeah, but
Maybe
we're
in
in
the
kind
new
of the
set.
backlash against Planeswalkers era.
It's definitely not going to be like in the next 10 years.
I mean, maybe a Reality Fracture.
We don't know what Reality Fracture is going to be.
That's why I said maybe, man.
Yeah.
I have a question. Do you think that compulsive research deserves to be a part of this cycle? From Ravnica, City of Fields.
Compulsive research.
It's a sorcery and not an instant, but the mana cost is right, and it works. It's like, Thirst for Discovery, but better, except it doesn't. Thirst for Discovery is basic. Compulsive Research is any land.
Yeah, it's not thirsty.
It isn't thirsty, but I feel like emotionally, at least, it's part of the cycle to me.
Dog, you gotta slog those pages.
If you are running Thirst for Discovery, you're probably also running it, but
Compulsive Research goes in my decks before Thirst for Discovery, to be honest.
Yeah.
They haven't printed an instant sorcery one, have they?
No, whenever they make Thirst for Mana, I'm there, though. That card's going to be broken.
Oh, yeah.
One more little section we got here before we sign off. We would be remiss if we didn't mention the same cards everybody else is mentioning. Mutable Explorer is the best Mutavault.
He's also a little guy.
The one that's in your deck.
What?
The best Mutavault is the one that's in your deck, attacking for lethal.
Well, yeah, okay, that's true. But this one's a little guy.
He is a little guy, and he makes Mutavaults. And if you blink him, he makes more Mutavaults.
He is
Yeah.
my friend.
He is a friendly little guy. All the art. I mean, this this set has an abundance of little guys that are awesome.
Yeah.
do
And
like
they
shapeshifters.
had to have hired a mouthfeel specialist because they've got all kinds of motherfuckers that are called like Hexing Squelcher.
That's an excellent card.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Yes, it is probably most people's chase card for this set. It's already going for $55.
Silly high.
Cannot be countered. Ward, pay 2 life. Spells you control can't be countered. And other creatures you control have ward, pay 2 life.
This is actually, believe it or not, a reference to a card from the original Lorwyn block, which was called Vexing Shusher, which is also good mouthfeel. And it's obviously 20 plus ish years unpower crept from this guy, so it's a little worse. But he's also a little goblin guy with a funny name that has an X in it, and I like
18
him a lot,
years,
too.
Mason. You're not that old.
18 is 20ish.
Yeah.
18 is 20-ish.
Aren't you 18?
Not anymore, buddy.
So are you 20ish?
Yeah.
Yeah, there we go. See?
No, that would not hold up in court.
Mirror form. This is the other card that's probably that I am most excited for. Each non-land permanent you control becomes a copy of target non-aura permanent. Boys, we've got Brutaclad at home.
It's better than Nano Gene conversion unless you're targeting specifically your commander.
Yeah. I like that card a lot. Mirror form, not the Dr. Doom's card.
Nano Gene conversion's not bad.
I have a mono blue deck that's built around silly cards. One of the main things that I like to do with it is use True Polymorph from D&D to turn somebody's commander into a Darksteel Ingot, and then their commander's indestructible mana rock they can't get rid of forever. I'm playing like Time Sifter from Mirrodin that makes taking the next turn into a mini game, and all kinds of silly expensive blue cards that aren't that good. I'm upset that I can't turn all of my creatures and stuff into Caged Suns. It doesn't work that way. It makes me very sad because you have to enter as a Caged Sun to get the effect. But it will go in that deck anyway, and it will turn all my stuff into like a Gilded Lotus or something. We'll figure something out with it.
You could do that. What was that cool thing they were doing last year where you can instantly off yourself by turning all your stuff into Archfiend of the Dross?
Yeah, I guess you could do that. I would.
Don't know why I would. You could.
I am looking for what is the Sphinx card that I'm looking for.
What does it do?
Makes your opponents draw makes you draw a card when your opponents draw a card.
Oh, Consecrated Sphinx?
Consecrated Sphinx. Yes.
That fucker.
That card is a game changer.
Oh, then that might be why it's not in here anymore. I probably took it out when it became a game changer.
Classic, all the way back from Mirrodin Besieged.
It is one of my favorite targets for copying a bunch of spells. It's my favorite target for Brutaclad. It's a big flying beater that also gives you a bunch of card advantage.
It's a 4/6, but it's sizable. It's a 4/6. It's not like big. It's medium.
It's big enough if you've got 20.
4/6 is pretty good.
But
4/6, it's not about how big. It's about how you use it.
One of my very favorite things to do is have an opponent play their Consecrated Sphinx, and then I get like 30 of them.
The old trade secrets minigame. We stop when I say we stop.
Yep. That will just end the game. You draw a card, they draw 30. You draw a card, they draw 30. That only happens a couple times.
Then I just play Windfall and they die.
Yeah. Mirror form is great. I love mirror
Yeah,
form.
cool card. Cool card. Big fan. You can do all kinds of funny stuff with it.
Like literally look at every creature you have and think about what would happen if all of them were this.
Actually, I just had a dream. You got to turn a bunch of stuff into forced fruition, which is also
Rusty,
an original Lorwyn, I think.
Rusty, this is going in my my Zethi chair deck that I beat you by accident with.
Yeah.
The one with the homunculus horde.
Yeah, I just want to turn like 20 things into forced fruitions and be like, I dare you. Cast a spell. It's not a May.
Isn't an aura.
It's not a May either.
Yeah. Just like when you're looking at what do I do with mirror form, put the text at the bottom of Heir Apparent that says any deck can have any number of cards named this card. Put that text on any given permanent that's not an aura, and just think about what you could do with that. Just imagine that. Imagine that scenario.
All your permanents into a legendary creature and then sacrifice them all.
And then mirror form. Yes, there is. There are a couple of legendary creatures that when they die do bad things.
Child of Alara. That would only work once, but
you only need to do that once. But you're
blowing up the world 500 times to own the lives.
And then lastly, we've got Bloom Tender. For each color among permanents you control, add 1 mana of every color. They keyworded Vivid. And this is better Sunburst.
Yeah. It's cool that they have a keyword for it now. I think more things should have keywords so they're easier to remember. This is a classic. Again, a reprint from the original Lorwyn block. Kind of like Feyburrow Elder, but, it can go in any green deck that's not white. The more colors you're playing, the better it'll be.
I like that art better than the original art. It's not the original art's not bad, but this one's better.
Hard to go wrong with Chippy, one of the greats for sure. But this art is excellent. I mean, this card has like 6 or 7 arts now, and they're all great. There's like the special guest one. There was a Secret Lair one. There's all kinds of cool. I mean, this card just has a ton of excellent artwork.
Yeah, to put a pin on how good this card is, in a mono green elf deck, this is 1 mana more expensive than Llanowar elves. In 2 and up.
Oh, there is.
There's my card. There's my art.
In 2 colors and up, it's at parity with Llanowar elves and better. The more colors you've got. It's very good.
Great.
I put it in my 5-color deck because it's a 2/2. It's a 2-mana card that tops for 5 mana.
Yeah.
Yeah, again, if you're playing this and in like a 5-color deck, you would want this and Feyburrow Elder. And then, this is not a bad choice to make copies of with like the mirror circlet that we talked about earlier.
In a 2-color deck, this is better than Sol Ring.
Well, Sol Ring costs 1 mana, but
You're right.
That's part of the appeal of Sol Ring is that it's cost positive.
Yeah, you're right. But it's very good.
Just an excellent card. You can never go wrong with Bloom Tender in any multicolor green deck, really. It's a fantastic card. It dies to everything, which is a downside, but the upside is so worth it. I mean, there's a reason why it's one of the marquee cards of the set.
Well, and there's like 2 ways it goes. It eats a removal spell, so something else that you're winning the game with doesn't die, or somebody correctly what?
Like your commander,
right? Or somebody correctly assesses that this is going to give you a ton of mana and gets, or somebody incorrectly assesses it, kills something else, and then you rebuy it with some spell or play something bigger and better next turn, right? It sits kind of right in the middle where you're kind of okay with it dying because it's eating removal, and you're kind of okay with it living because it's still good enough that it makes your opponents do math.
Yeah, I mean, if you're ahead, you're going to have people are going to have bigger fish to fry, so they're going to kill it. And if you're behind, then people are going to let it live because you're trying to catch up, and then it'll help you get out of control really fast.
Yeah.
If you have anything that lets you untap your stuff, it can go out of control really fast. It's an elf, which is a very powerful creature type for it to be. Any multicolor elf deck, if you're playing, green black, if you're playing green blue, if you're playing Maryland, if you're playing 5 colors, if you're not playing elves but you're still playing multicolor, it goes in all your big mana green decks really, as long as they're not mono green.
Which what's his face from Kaldheim? The one that taps, the one from March the Machine Aftermath, the one that puts counters on things whenever you tap it for mana.
Oh, that guy. What is his name?
Oh, I know his name. He's actually kind of cool. Starts with a T.
Tyvar?
Yeah, Tyvar the Bellicose.
Tyvar the Bellicose. That is his name. Yeah, it makes an adds number 1 when the counters on it equal to the amount of mana it produced. Yeah, that is pretty good.
It's not bad.
Yeah, that guy's pretty great. There's also the Planeswalker Tyvar from All Will Be One that lets you activate your activated abilities, so they had haste and can untap a creature. So the Tyvars, they're pretty good. Jubilant Brawler is the name of the Planeswalker. Sorry.
I like just
Even
Tyvar the Brawler is pretty good. So whatever
Tyvar the Brawler is, I think, my favorite of them.
Yeah.
Or the Brummeler, the Pummeler.
The Pummeler from what is this set called? Duskmourn.
I love Duskmourn. Yeah. Fun fact: you don't have to tap Tyvar to activate his ability.
Nope, you got 10 mana. You can do it twice.
Yeah,
yep, that's a classic. The original Azuri did the same thing. I mean, yeah, Bloom Tender. Nobody really has to tell you how good it is. It's just been a great card since 2006 or whatever.
Yeah.
Back when I was but 4 years old. Sorry, I gotta punch my making him feel old card.
All right. I'm really excited to play Magic with Magic cards again.
Yeah, me too. I bought a box of this set, and I'll be drafting it with my compatriots shortly. So I'm definitely looking forward to playing Magic with cards in this set. I've ordered a bunch. We didn't really talk about anything from the Commander decks. I think these are all cards from the main set, but there were 2 Commander decks that are pretty cool. They both had new art for Sol Ring that's just really pretty.
That's one of the new trends I like. Is new Sol Ring art, new Arcane Signet art, new Command Tower art for every Commander deck. And I think that the Elemental
arts printed.
I think the Elemental deck has 1 printing for Sol Ring, Signet, and Tower, and the -1, the Blight one, has a different printing.
Yes.
So I think one's a Shadowmoor and one's a Lorwyn deck.
So this is one of the new printings?
Yeah, just gorgeous. That art is exceptional.
And this is the other one.
This one's very pretty too. I ordered like 4 of each just to like put them in decks and have them lying around. They're really nice.
Yeah.
I did not know about the new Sol Ring art. That's something I learned 5 seconds ago.
Yeah, this new Sol Ring art for every set since
they're pretty.
I think there's been new Sol Ring. I think there's been new art since Warhammer. I think. Correct me if
Warhammer was, I believe, the first pre-constructed deck that had new art for them, and then I think they started doing it in every set since like Ether Drift ish.
Oh yeah, that.
Maybe there was one for
that one.
No, they had a new Sol Ring for Doctor Who.
There were Sol Rings in like all the Universes Beyond stuff. So Lord of the Rings had one, but I think for Magic sets it might have been more recent. I know they're in Ether Drift.
Bloomburrow had its own Sol Ring.
You're right. Bloomburrow did.
It came before Bloomburrow. Yeah, no, Bloomburrow was the first one with its own
first Magic set with it. Yeah.
For some reason, the overlay is not grabbing the new Edge of Eternities one. Final Fantasy got a bunch of them.
Yeah. Everything Universes Beyond always has unique art for the Sol Rings and the Arcane Signets.
Tarkir got one.
Yeah, I like the Tarkir one. It's really good.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah,
I mean, Sol Ring is a card that goes in pretty much every deck.
I think it's been printed in every set, every deck except for the specifically 5-color deck.
Maybe it's been in every Commander precon. If there is one that hasn't, that's an exception, and because it's in like all of them. That's why they can't ban it.
I think that's why it was in. The only reason it wasn't in the like the Dominaria United Rainbow one is because you kind of get fucked if you start playing colorless.
Yeah, it's not good for casting a lot in a 5-color deck. Yeah, I mean, it's a card you're going to put in all your Commander decks, so it's cool to have unique art instead of, we did like almost 10 years of them just printing the same art every year, everything. The art is great. I like that art a lot, but it's nice
Yeah.
to have options.
Yeah.
Yeah, someone who started playing the game right when they started getting into both Universes Beyond and hyper gimmicky sets. It's nice to have like just a generic fantasy set. Like, don't get me wrong, I love Aether Drift and Edge of Eternities and basically every Universes Beyond until the next one, but it's nice to have something normal.
This set is cool. It feels very, very homey. Like if you compare the cards in it to the original Lorwyn block, it's definitely a higher power set because modern Magic is just more powerful. But the cards fit in for sure.
It feels like you said. I like homey. It feels like going home.
Very nostalgic. Very nostalgic. I like this
Lorwyn
a lot.
had just dropped when I started playing. Planeswalkers were still new.
I think my only critique of this is that they didn't do enough with the whole flipping stuff back and forth.
I wish that they had done. I know that they're doing less Planeswalkers. I wish that they had done one of every color as a throwback to original Lorwyn block.
Yeah, I do as well. I feel like this would have been the place for it.
Yeah.
There were 2 whole Planeswalkers, which is more than 0, but
Yeah,
3 colors.
2.5.
Yeah.
Well, Oko is like half man. He's a little fairy, so together he counts as 1.
I think
Yes, I'll sneak
do
out
it
1.5.
for us for tonight. Tune in next week sometime. If you found this stream via the Facebook group I posted it in or our Discord, we will let you know exactly when that'll be next week. We will get the VOD uploaded to YouTube soon.
TM.
Just for you, Victor. Got you, buddy.
And stay tuned. Tell your friends about it if you enjoyed the show. Thank you guys for watching.
Let us know if you appreciate Lunacam.
We can, even though Ian will be returning in the future, we can get a little Lunacam all the time if you want.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.